Welcome to Tidal Town. I'm your host, Mike Vaccaro. Today we sit down with swimming and diving head coach Bobby Guntoro. Tidal Town is a new show here for UNCW Athletics, highlighting the championship programs and the coaches that make it special. Our first stop is the David B. Allen Natatorium, named for the late founder of the swimming and diving programs. He set the bar high, winning 16 championships before his retirement. Now, since 2020, former swimmer Bobby Guntoro has taken over the program, winning 5 championships of his own. And that includes back-to-back titles for both the men and the women. Today we find out what makes the swimming and diving program so special here at UNCW. We catch up with Bobby Guntoro. Bobby, what are you doing down there?
Hey Mike, just cleaning up and admiring this new logo. You want to come down and check us out?
All right, sure.
Let's go, man. Come on. Come on now. The brand. Wow. This is the brand, Mike. You know.
It looks great. It looks great.
We're all about the brand here.
Yes.
What do you
great.
think?
A lot of renovations here.
It's going to be, it's just like a beautiful historical home. You've got to take care of it, and I think our university's done the right way. Not only the name is David B. Allen, but now we're taking care of this historical home. Right here.
Well, Bobby, again, great renovations here. We want to dive into, if you will, this program and what makes it special, because it really has become the standard bearer for this department. Right. With, right. Coach Allen won 16 championships. You've already won 5 championships. Before we get into that, though, let's talk about your history, because you're from Indonesia.
I am.
Badminton, soccer, those are the big sports there. Yes. How did swimming for you become the sport?
Right. Funny enough, I grew up playing badminton and swimming, and in Indonesia, like you say, badminton is world class. And I grew up and I enjoy both sports. I was very competitive, and I like to win and I don't like to lose. And probably around 11, 12 years old, probably 10-year old. My dad asked me, like, hey man, which sports are we gonna, which sports do you like more here, and then I started learning that the Indonesian government, they take care of their Olympic athletes in terms of, giving out scholarship and for to go to school and bring all these local kids to go into the capital city to have. So for me, it was just like, wow, that would be really cool. Like and the Olympic athletes in Indonesia is an ambassador for the country. So I have aspiration to do that. And then I look at it like, man, badminton is so good. I don't think I can go all the way up. So I'm like, we're not really so good in swimming, so maybe I do that. So so that's kind of like the starting, But I like to be in the ocean. I'm from Bali. I grew up in Bali, in Indonesia. Everybody surfs down there. Everybody go to the ocean. So that kind of like the starting for me in swimming. Really just want to be the fastest one, getting into the ocean and getting out. So that was kind of the starting, and I fell in love with water, and here I am working with water.
Yeah, and it was that passion for swimming, your success, that brought you to the States for the first time. You go to the Bowl School in Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah. What kind of transition was that like for you to go from Indonesia to Florida?
Right. So I think it was definitely big cultural change, but what I learned a lot was the Bowl schools. Specifically, I'm very thankful for the Bowl school community. they really take the academic to the very top of the pyramid. And I think that was the big adjustment for me, where my coaches talk about academic and my coaches talk about the importance of, hey, we have exam at 8 o'clock, and my coaches say, go sleep in and learn and study for that exam and be ready for that. And I was like, whoa, this is different, you know, and I came in from the Indonesian setting where, so I would, prior to the United States, I was in the capital city, and I was in the training center for all the Olympic athletes, all age group. But we were very setting up for athletic first and then academic. And then where the change was huge at Bowls, you know, it was academic first and then athletic. And then I learned along the way that my mother is a teacher. She was very, very into, hey, education's got to be number one. And so that was really a good shift, a good change for me. And living, you know, as a high schooler, living at the dorm, and you've got to learn about people. You live with people. People come from all over the world, not just the United States. You get to meet a lot of different people, and how they live their life is very different. And suddenly we live in the same dorm, and how do we work together? So that was really the big part of that Bowls schools, how they prepared me very well for really up until now.
Ironically, it would be the Bowls School where you made your first connection with the UNCW as well, with Dave Allen bringing the Seahawks down there to train. Ironic that that's kind of how this connection started for you.
Right. And so, so Dave Allen used to take this program, including when I swam for Dave. I went to, you know, Bowls School for training camp with the team, with UNCW team. That's how I know UNC Wilmington. And it was my senior year. It was in the middle of the winter time. You know, there's college team training in our pool, like after us, and I was like, oh, interesting. Like, why are they training over here? I didn't know about training trip. I didn't know about just the Christmas training for the college, right? I didn't know about that. So Dave, he would take the team down to Florida to train for a week or so. And that particular year, I remember I was curious of what college team looked like in the pool, what their train looked like. I was just very curious about that. I came down just one night. I finished my homework. I finished everything. I did my study hall a little bit earlier, and I told the dorm dad I want to go down, and dorm dad said that, they call it the dorm dad, the people that take care of us at the dorm. The dorm dad said, well, finish all your study hall earlier, you can go down and watch the practice. So I did that, and I came down and watched practice, and I was the only one there and sit down, and Dave was coaching the team, and he just came up to me. He's like, what's your story? What's going on? What are you doing here? You know, and what's the story? And just have that conversation, and I really enjoy our conversation. And the next day I came back to just watch practice. I thought and then the next day I came back, just want to talk to the old guy. You know, that was really the interaction, really. And then I committed to swim for UNC Wilmington not long after that first interaction, prior to visiting Wilmington. So I didn't know what Wilmington looked like. You know, so it was all just my interaction with Dave Allen and Todd DeSorbo at the time.
Yeah, Todd DeSorbo, I know, was big in your life and in your career as well, a guy that swam at UNCW, coached at UNCW, now the head coach at Virginia as well. Again, what does it say maybe to what Coach Allen developed here with the family of the swimmers and the program here?
I mean, like you see this one, right? There are not many programs that this pool right here that we are in. He was the first guy that really opened. He was the first guy that had the key to this pool, this facility, right? I think to me, you know, he built not only like literally he took care of this pool, and he took care of this facility, and it's nice that the facility is named after him, and I think that is the right way to do it and he does that for 37 years, right? If I'm correctly, it's 37 years to do that, to pour love into not only the team, but just overall as an organization, top to bottom. So I think to me, this was the Allen family life achievement. So I think to me, there are not many programs in the NC2A, especially in our level and mid-major, that, you know, we're currently, we don't have the 10 Olympians, we don't have the 10 NC2A. It's purely for the love of the sport. And you have this one coach that he could have gone somewhere else, that, you know, but he really truly loved the community in Wilmington. His message has always been, doesn't matter how good you are if you're not connected with the community. It does not matter. For us, I learned a lot as a student athlete under coach that, hey, you know, it's the people around Wilmington, around UNC Wilmington, makes our experience, and we want to make sure people around us better, and the people around us will make us better people. I think that mentality, and he was doing it for 37 years here. It's a law of accumulation. You know, so I think it's such a impacts so many people beyond the team. It's thousands of people around our program. You can't talk about Dave Allen without talking about the Learn to Swim program that Dave and Miss Allen started it. And I think, you know, really, I think Wilmington, you know, I hope at some point, and I hope people realize that it's not so much just the swimming and diving here, competing in a high level, but it also, hey, we are truly our roots, starting with Coach Allen, the way he built who we are. We really value the community around us, and what can we do for the community, and for us to happen to be the sport that can save a life. I think to me that means a lot. It's not just swimming and academic. It's diving and academic. It's not just that. It's so much more beyond that.
Yeah, adults who learned to swim here when they were kids, bringing their kids now to this camp as well as it continues on, and learning and keeping that tradition going. You kept the tradition going by coming back. You swam here for 4 years, won 4 championships during your days. Marketing degree, a little bit of accounting. You left that to get into coaching. I mean, for you, what's the draw now as a former athlete to come back and be a coach? What's the thrill that you get out of that?
I think, I take a look at it that I've gotten so much from the team when I graduated. I did not know then, but then now I look back, you know, wow, I learned more than just fast swimming from coach, right? And I can look at any life situation, then I look back and I'm like, whoa, okay, I learned this as a student athlete. You know, my goal as a coach, I always say that if you want to get a personal best or win championship, you know, if that's all you want, don't come to UNCW. You know, because like it's, you know, if you do, you can get there in many places. You know, and I do believe that like if we do what we need to do, we can challenge for championships every year. I believe that. I truly believe that. But I think for me as a coach, I always believe that, hey, at this particular part of the student athlete's life, you know, there are really 4 things that's really important: family, their social circle, school, and swimming. And I think now those 4 things, right, in my mind, the way I take a look at it, that's just 4 words in our brain. And at some point I said, this academic in swimming may change to be either a father or mother, right? Either a husband or wife. And then family matters still, your family, and then it's still the same thing in the other side as well, the social, right? And so to me, like, where is the priority? How do we manage things? And what do we learn? Like right now, swimming or diving, okay, and that word is going to change. How are we prioritize our responsibility as husband and father and wife and mother, and you know, and how do you juggle that, making sure that, you know, you also still meeting responsibility in our job and whatever that is. So I think to me, I talk a lot about that. And I like that. I like that a lot. And I think we take care of that, and I don't guarantee success, and I love that this sport and being a coach, I don't know some other coaches out there may guarantee success. I don't know that. But I love that, like, hey, we don't guarantee success, but we're gonna work with you, right? And we're gonna push you, but we're gonna be there for you. We're gonna listen to you. We're gonna hear you, and we're gonna fail together, right? And when you're success, you're gonna get all the spotlight. This is your success. But when you fail, I get to be there with them. Like, no, it's, we fail. It's okay. And in my office, it's a lot of cry, a lot of tears. Like, that's okay. And I'm like, that's all right. How do we learn from here? How do we move forward? That was my experience with Dave and Todd, as they were my coaches. And to me, I love that. I love that part. And I go to work every day that I know somebody, and somebody within this organization with 62 student athletes, right? It's not necessarily, every day is not a success for all of us, right? And there's 62, and maybe 40 of them, we fail at something today. So what do we learn from that? How do we move forward? And I think that's something that I really love doing that every day.
Well, there hasn't been much failure. Again, you were hired in 2020. You took over the program a couple of years to maybe really take the reins of things, but then you win a championship. Now coming off of back-to-back championships, not just the men, but the women as well. Do you feel like you've gotten this program back to that standard that Coach Allen maybe set for it?
I hope so. I feel that I feel that, well, number one, I feel that we're doing our best. And I am proud of our effort. I'm proud of our honest effort. If that takes us to get to the second place in the championships, hey, you know what? We're going to respect the number one, and then we just have to, was that an honest effort? Which area can we be better? But I do feel that the way we do things, the integrity of how we build our program, I feel like we're back where it was. And our goal is always say when I came back, hey, we're gonna try to build on excellence. The people before us, he's won so many. Exactly, he won what, 16? 17? I mean, he lost count. Like, we used to call him the Lord of the Rings. He's the Lord of the Rings. We built such a consistent success, and the most successful thing that I thought that he had was his relationship with his former athletes. I feel that as a former athlete, I feel like I was a special person to him. But then you're asking the next guy, I'm like, no, I'm the most special person to him. And then the next guy, so I think to me, that's what we strive for this program. And I know we don't do it right. We don't always do it right the first time. Self-evaluation is important. I'm gonna always take a look in the mirror. Am I doing the right thing? And again, I like to say, please, thank you, smile, and ask yourself, am I being a good person? And that's really the motto for our program.
And again, the family and what Dave Allen started. You're not the only swim coach. You mentioned Todd DeSorbo. Again, that's maybe something that you're seeing now, the guys and the ladies that have gone on to be coaches. So he's spreading the word beyond Coach Allen here.
Yeah, I mean, this is, as an Olympic sport, is such an exciting time after the Olympic Games, because the community, the people that may not necessarily watch our sport, and they watch our sport every 4 years, right? And the Olympic Games. And for swimming, I mean, every Olympic, you talk swimming, gymnastics, track and field. It's a big deal, right? It's a big deal. I think some people in the Wilmington area don't know that, hey, the head of the women's team for Team USA that produced, the most Olympic gold medal in swimming, in the whole worldwide, and he was the product of UNC Wilmington. And there is another guy who lead the team Australia, who's the second best nation in the world for swimming, who's a product of, he's a coach of the Olympic gold medalist in the 50 freestyle at the Olympic Games. He's a product of UNC Wilmington. I mean, to take a look at a small school in Wilmington that produce such a high level caliber coaches, I think it's beyond of what it says a lot about the passion of the people around this organization and the special family bond that we all feel why we want to go back to coaching. I think to me that says a lot of what this program built, what we built. It says a lot about our alumni group, and it says a lot about the people around us that believe in us. They continue to support. It says a lot about our parents group that continue to be the best supporter for our program, and beyond just this year's parents group. I think to me it's such a unique situation, such a unique team, and it makes me very, very, very proud to lead this program. It's an honor for me to sit here as the head coach of this program, really.
And sitting here at the bottom of the pool with some of the renovations that you see here. So this program and this facility getting some much needed love here recently as well. How does that help out with you, with this program moving forward when you look at recruiting, when you look at just the success in this pool?
It's important. I think what we've done with this facility will create consistency for our program. And not only consistency with it's going to create more the pride of being a part of this program. The alumni, every alum that graduated from UNC Wilmington that competed for us, swim and dive, they'll come back here like, yes, I competed here, I trained here, and then look at this now. You're going into a historical home that's been touched up. It really is. It's a historic home that's been touched up, and it touched up the right way. And I think, obviously, the athletic department has a lot to do with that. And I do want to give a special shout out to Mark Wagner. We spoke about this on my interview. And obviously, Mark has his boss, and Michael Blinger. Obviously, Michael Blinger and Mark been working really well together. And Michael Blinger just pushed through, yep, it makes sense. Let's do it. Why are we waiting, right? And I do think that, from 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, when I spoke in the interview, Mark Wagner, one of the very first conversation I had with Mark, it was almost 2-hour conversation, Mike. He was passionate about swimming. I mean, he came from swimming background. His sister was a silver medalist at the Olympic Games, right? And I think to me that having my direct boss that understand the sport and understand the importance for us to have a consistency, to have pride of what we have, I think that's important. For in terms of recruiting standpoint, changes are coming in NC2A, and I think it's going to help a program like us. It's absolutely help a program like us, because suddenly, hey, okay, this big school, all that roster limitation and all that, we don't have a football team. To me, I kind of love that. I love it, because hey, everybody's more important. It's a small but mighty, right? And I think for us, a lot more talent is going to look at a school like us. That what is it like? Why is that? It's not just academically we're great. Location was second to none, right? Now the swimming and diving. Hey, this is a rich cultural history. That's all you want. That's all you want. And now, not only that, you're getting a facility that, yeah, this is a nice place. This is a nice place. Why not? Why not us? I think that's, to me, I challenge ourselves to be always, why not us? Why can't we be top 25? Why not?
With all that in play, obviously expectations continue to go up, I would think. And again, being back-to-back champs on not just the men's side, but the women's side as well. Does it put pressure on you? Does it make it harder for you, this program as well, to continue to kind of climb that ladder?
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily, there's always competition. There's always competition. I think I always feel that I'm an analogy guy. I'm an analogy guy, right? And I think about a season, I think about it as a cup. Like every day we fill up a little bit of the water, and then fill up a little bit of water, and it's a long season, and many people involved. It's not just ladies and the ladies and the gentlemen who competed that particular weekend, but it's beyond that. It's beyond, it's the overall. It's the alumni group, it's the parent support, it's the academic area that's important to understand how to do that. So I think to me it's more that I don't necessarily take as a pressure. It's more that it's always a good check myself every year where, hey, there's a lot of checklists, here's what we need to do. And are we doing it the right way? Are we checking all the way from the top to the bottom, right? What do we do? And I do believe if we are checking things out all the way from the top to the bottom, and it's like, oh, check here, all that checklist. If we do that, we'll be very, very good at the end of the year. I truly believe that, we'll be contending and we'll move forward as a program. I don't looking at ahead. I'm looking at where we are. How do we do it? This is our plan today. What do we do great today? What are we not good today? How do we evaluate for the next day? We have a plan. My job is a lot of planning for people, and the plan is to create the checklist. We have the checklist, and each coach, I have great coaches, and Coach Sarah Richards been here for 4 years. She's my second person in charge. She knows what type of lunch I like and what type of lunch I don't like. She knows what type of dinner I like, and when we go out, she kind of know. I don't have to talk to her. I would just crunching number and doing everything, and just like, hey, here's dinner. And she's like, oh, thank you. And she knows that. I don't have to have that conversation. I think having that on the staff make a big difference, right? And I think to me, to go back to your questions, I feel confidence that we have the staff that can help our team to make sure to complete the checklist organically, and with making sure that we are aware it's a 26-week season. It's not 5-week season. I think if we do that right, and at some point we're gonna have, this is a really hard problem, like really hard things to figure it out here. What's going on? It's gonna take longer than the other. You know what? Maybe skip that one. Let's go to the other one. I think to me, that's my accounting background in a way, right? So it's just gotta be left is credit, right is debit. You gotta equal this one. So I don't know if that answers the questions, but I always feel that it's, hey, every day is a new day, every year is a new year, and competition will be there. Just let's focus on what we do.
Well, when all the boxes are checked and everything is done, you win a championship, and a great celebration that we always see is jumping in the pool. How did that start, and what is that moment like for you, maybe when you did it as an athlete, but now as you're doing it as a coach?
It's second to none feeling. It's just almost it's a burst, right? It's a let go. I'm always nervous until that day, and I'm always like on the clock. I have my own paper accounting and all that, all the points and all that, what's going on, and managing people. I don't, for me, like in the championship, a lot of coaches have stopwatch. I don't carry stopwatch in championships. It's my time, my job to manage people more, and understanding that I'm here with you. I'm here with you. I'm not here for you. I'm here with you. It's okay. This is the two of us. You're not coming out there by yourself. I'm with you. It's okay, and it's okay to fail. It's all right to fail. Because if we fail, we fail. You don't fail, right? We fail, right? That was my big thing. But because of that, I probably sleep like 3 to 4 hours a night through that championships. It's my brain just going, right? So at the end of the championships, thankfully, obviously, we're fortunate to come up on top on the men's side 3 years in a row, and the women's side 2 years in a row. It's a second to none feeling where I try to not think ahead, just trying to be enjoying it, and just championships never perfect. There's always been a failure within the championships, and as a staff, and I think to me, but I try to just say, it doesn't matter. Just, we did what we tried, and this is the best we can do, and we came up on top. Let's enjoy each other, let's celebrate, and getting in the water, just that fresh, cold water is almost kind of like a fresh start in a way, So, it's a hard feeling to explain, and I don't know how Dave did it. Was that 13 years in a row? You know, I mean that's the domination.
Well, overall, there's 21 banners back there.
21.
You're responsible for 4 as an athlete, as a swimmer here, and now 5 as a head
Oh, wow.
coach. So,
Yeah.
for our first episode of Tidal Town, this has been a great stop, a great place to start. Continued success for you in this program as well, and hopefully you've got another pull plunge in you
Full plunge.
later
I
on this
appreciate
year
it.
as well.
I appreciate it, Mike. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you.